Okay, so we are starting our third chapter. Just give me a second. Okay, we are starting our third chapter, that is documentation and maintenance of records. Here, what a company secretary can do here. The company secretary is basically responsible for storing, maintaining, retrieving, certifying and explaining corporate documents. So what all are the responsibility that a company secretary has in relation to the document? That it has a responsibility for storing, maintaining, recording, retrieving, certifying and explaining of the corporate documents. What's the purpose of documentation? Basically, the purposes are various purposes. Like for the client service, we may need some more documents so that we could assist our client in a better way. For communication also, for accountability, for professional responsibility, legal requirements, quality, research, resource management. So these all are the things for which we require documentation. We need it for the client servicing, for communication. We could have accountability, that who is the person for accountable for such kind of thing. And also there is a professional responsibility, legal requirements. So all it's part of this. And quality and research and resource management is also the part of it. Now, what is the principle of documents? Principles of documents are basically 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. 10 C's are the principles of document. 10C. What all are 10C's is? That is it should be a clear document, it should be a concise, it should be a complete, it should be a contemporary, it should be a consecutive, it should be a correct, it should be a comprehensive, it should be a collaborative, it should be a client-centric, it should be a confidential. So we learned that 10 C's, that is a clear, concise, complete, contemporary, consecutive, correct, comprehension, collaborative, client-centric, confidential. Again, I'm reading this. That is clear, concise, complete, contemporary, consecutive, correct, comprehensive, and collaborative, client-centric, and confidential. So these all are the principles. Now we are going for what is the advantage and disadvantage of electronic record. It is basically we know already now, so I'm just reading it once only. That is cost effective, ease of doing, ease of use, labor saving, searchability, portability, version tracking. These all are the advantages. And all the disadvantages are: there is a software risk, there is a format risk, that is a reliability, that is a portability, there is a conversion expense. So that could be the disadvantages. Now, what is the safety and retrieval of records? That is the operating lag. That is the name of the individuals who all have worked on the same documents. There is the operating lags. Results in review, the recording of the changes suggested by each reviewer and the basis of rejection on non-agreement. There is also inspection. That is a list of individuals who have access to the records and have inspection rights of the same. Now, monitoring and work performance. Will ease the monitoring of the work performance by the person to whom the file is shared. So these are the safety and retrieval of documents. Of records, we could say that operating lags, that the name of the individuals who have all worked on the same documents, results of the review, and there is an inspection, there is a monitoring of work performance, and there is information analysis also, that is provide ease of information system to the organization and tracking of files. So these are the basically things. Now I think it's visible now. It's probably now it's purely visible. Okay, so I'm reading it. That is policy on preservation of documents and archival of documents on the website under Regulation 9 and 30 subsection 8 of the CB listing obligation and disclosure requirement. So what is it? That scope and purpose and scope of it: classification of document to be preserved and retained, principle of responsibility, periodical review of the policy, suspension of record disposal in case of litigation, statutory requirement, web archival policy, following documents must be kept in the safe custody of the record room. That is, the customer and employee information we have to be very kept in the safe, and office plans and also the contracts and trade secrets we have to be keep it confidential. Okay, so again I'm reading this. That is policy on preservation on documents and archival of documents. Purpose and scope we need to identify. Also we need to classify the document. Also we need to principle of responsibility, we need to check it out. Periodical review of the policy, we need to check it. And suspension of record disposal in case of a litigation. Statutory requirement means we have some more documents for kept in 8 years, some also for 3 years, so for that requirement we have to follow, and web archival policies has to be there. And some other documents which we need to kept in the record in the safe custody, that is employee and customer information, office plans, and also contracts and trade secrets. Now the Justice A.P. Shah Committee has been formed. Justice A.P. Shah Committee reported outlined 9 principles basically, that is 9 principles that were central to define the right to privacy. What all are the 9 principles? That is principles of notice, principle of choice and consent, principle of collection limitation, principle of purpose limitation, principle of access and correction, principle of disclosure of information, principle of security, principle of openness, principle of accountability. So these all are 9 things which we need to discuss, like principle of notice, principle of choice and consent, principle of collection limitation, principle of purpose limitation, principle of access correction, principle of disclosure information, principle of security, principle of openness, principle of accountability. So these all we need to consider. That is the recommendation that has been given, that is the 9 principle that has been given by the A.P. Shah Committee, formed, and it has defined the right to privacy in case of a company. So we know that the physical and virtual data room. So these all are the 9 principles are important. Notice, choice and consent. Again I'm repeating that, okay, because it is important. It could form a question in exam. It could be a direct question, and there are chances that we could not be able to write it. That is principle of notice, principle of choice and consent, principle of collection limitation, principle of purpose limitation, principle of access and correction, principle of disclosure of information, principle of securities, principle of openness, principle of accountability. Now forms of documents, that is a physical data room and virtual data room. So forms of documents, that could be a paper, files, boxes, or other tangible things in the physical data room. And in the virtual data room we have the electronic digital soft copies of documents including audio and video. And now the security of documents, that is lies with the integrity of the person who is in charge of the data room. So it totally depends on the integrity, while in case of a virtual data room, more secure through specific login ID passwords, in addition to facilities like internet firewalls are there. Now longer time required for creation of data room. It basically requires a longer time. That is for physical data room we need to have to submit all the files and other things, and virtual data room can be created in 48 hours or even lesser than that time. So it's basically on the demand. Is it visible? I think it's visible enough. Just give me a time. I'm not able to shift it. Okay. Now cost. Definitely for the physical data room we need high cost depending on the document. Like if we have a lesser document, then we have a lesser cost, and if we have more document, then it considers more cost to be for such documents. And reasons like one person to take care of the data room, and also require bidders to travel from one their place to another for the data room, and cost is low in case of a virtual data room, and can be viewed from any location. There is no requirement to come to that specific location. So convenience. Searching of the document is time consuming. In case of a physical data room we need to check out all the files and in which paper we would find that relevant information, but in case of a virtual data room we could find it easily through the keywords. And accessibility of data room, that is time access to the data may be restricted, like there is a specific time allotted to the physical data room, like for the 6 to 10 hours 6 to 10, like it could be a time. And for the virtual data room, there is no specific time. We can view that file at our home, at the night of 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, anytime. 24 hours availability, we could say, in case of a virtual data room. So what is the facilities to restrict access of specific documents? Like, difficult to implement any restriction in case of a physical data room, because once a person enters into a physical data room, he could access any file. We could not impose that you cannot touch this file, but in case of a virtual data room, we could limit some more files through some more additional ID passwords. Okay. So facility to check who has reviewed what documents and how many times. In case of virtual data room, in case of physical data room, it is not available that the person, we could not check that how many times the person reviews the same file. But in case of virtual data room, it is easy to check out that how many times that a person has viewed it. And we have another topic, that is facility to highlight new information to be conveyed manually to all bidders. Highlight. Okay, ability to copy document. In case of a physical data room, it is possible. In case of a virtual data room, it could be restricted. And one-to-one communication with the seller or the representative available. One-to-one communication, we could say, in case of a physical data room, but in case of a virtual data room, we could not ask. We could not talk to the computer only, There is a possibility, but there is no use one-to-one communication. So in case of now there is a questions. I could discuss all these questions, like, to ensure the best quality of documents, the record should be maintained of the activity affecting the quality of the records. Like, to ensure the best quality of the documents, the record should maintain of the activities affecting the quality of the records. Comment. This could be a question. And there is a 9 principles of AP Justice AP Shah Committee. We know that what all are the 9 principles. I'm again repeating it. That is principle of notice, principle of choice and consent, principle of collection limitation, principle of purpose limitation, principle of access and correction, principle of disclosure of information, principle of security, principle of openness, principle of accountability. So these all are the 9 principles which has been given by the Justice AP Shah Committee in case of data security or right to privacy. So before drafting any document, it's most essential to be familiar with the purpose of the document. Yes, it is a purpose. We could write that. Yes, it is very essential. Otherwise, hawa mein tir marna kind of. So what is a short note on data privacy bill? It is an important question, and I think I should Google it for you guys. I'll do it. I have to mark this question, that data privacy bill protection. It is important. Data privacy and protection bill. Now it has probably it is, I think, a bill recently. Now it is. When it becomes an act, it will be more relevant. Now write a short note on electronic repository of documents. We know that electronic repository, virtual data room kind of, and now the physical data room is a higher computer. We could write the differences. And what are the suggested steps for protecting confidential information? We could write some more steps. Just give me a moment. They are talking about the operating lab results and reviews. They were talking about these steps. That's to be right. And now what is an internal auditor? XYZ limited company. We have signed to ask for the policy of preservation, highlight the content of the policy on preservation of documents. So, policy on preservation of documents. We need to write this: the purpose and scope, classification of the documents to be preserved and retained, principle of responsibility, periodical review of the policy, suspension of record disposal in case of litigation, statutory requirement, fallback policy. These all we need to consider as a case of policy on preservation. So chapter 3 has been over, and we'll start chapter 4 tomorrow.